Winter Arc, Lock-in, Sigma, Grind Season, Go All In, Monk Mode. You've probably seen at least one of these terms on social media in the last year. Recently though, the term Winter Arc surfaced from the depth of the internet. It quickly caught attention of fitness and wellness influencers on TikTok and Instagram. And like magic, now everyone is on their Winter Arc. For those who don't know the terms I just described, they all pretty much mean the same thing, focusing on self-improvement and removing distractions in order to achieve the goal. And the goal could be anything, but most commonly it's either getting in shape, making money, working on personal projects to make money, or any other side hustle to make money. As you can see, a lot of it has to do with escaping metrics and becoming financially free. And that's not really a problem, and you'll see why. So if you haven't heard what Winter Arc is, either you're not on social media or you're logged in. But basically it's a period of focused self-improvement, but the way it's packaged is different. This time it's during a colder months from October to the end of December. Just describing it makes me laugh, but the main idea is to use this time for transformation and to emerge as a better version of yourself by the beginning of new year in January. So the most of the people again are getting in shape, prioritizing their sleep, and focusing on good habits. So the key problem here is not the Winter Arc itself, but rather the fact that the social media keeps bombarding us with these catchphrases and pushing the idea that each arc is a secret to unlocking success or self-fulfillment. While there is nothing wrong with wanting to improve, focusing on growth, and genuinely making life better for yourself, the way Winter Arc and similar terms are presented creates this illusion that all it takes to change your life is a few weeks of intense focus. And this behavior is seen in multiple trends like 30-day challenges or New Year, New Me resolutions. Each starts off with a huge spike of motivation only to follow the same predictable cycle. Intense motivation followed by burnout, then back to square one. And here's how the cycle works in a nutshell. When you first start a Winter Arc or any other self-improvement challenge for that matter, the motivation feels almost unstoppable. You're riding a wave of energy, visualizing a better version of yourself, and everything feels possible. But here's where the cycle begins. This kind of high-intensity motivation rarely lasts, and when the initial excitement fades, it's often within a week, reality hits. And now, without motivation, it takes pure discipline and effort to maintain those habits day after day. And if you set overly ambitious goals, they start feeling more like a burden than a boost. And this is where a burnout phase begins. The pressure to maintain intense focus combined with unrealistic expectations leaves you mentally and physically exhausted. And instead of steady progress, you often find yourself quitting altogether, only waiting for the next arc or trend to rekindle the initial excitement. And a classic example of this cycle is when you first start working out and you commit to daily workouts and a flawless diet, and the first few days you're excited and full of energy, but soon the novelty wears off and suddenly it's just hard work. Going to the gym every day begins to feel more like a chore than a choice, and sticking to a strict diet feels restrictive and not sustainable. So without motivation, it's easy to lose momentum, skip a workout here and there, and eventually slide back into your old routine and habits. And this cycle is so common because it's easier to start big and go all in than it is to pace yourself and build sustainable habits. And this cycle isn't random. It's engraved in how our brains react to big goals. When we set huge targets, our brains release dopamine rush just from imagining the outcome. This is what I call mental masturbation. A lot like watching a motivational videos. You feel pumped and productive, like you're moving closer to your goals. But in reality, nothing has changed. It's just a temporary high that makes you feel better about yourself. Then when it's time for real effort, the dopamine boost fades, and without sustainable motivation, it's easy to fall off track. This is why relying on seasonal arc for life-changing results is a trap. It creates illusion of progress, but without consistency, it just leads to a cycle of highs and lows. And the whole Winter Arc concept often becomes a form of a mental escape. It feels productive to plan a lock-in phase or jump on a grind season challenge, but often people spend more time hyping up the idea itself than actually putting in consistent effort. But why? Because it's easier to fantasize about an ideal self than to commit to a lifestyle that actually requires sustainable discipline beyond just a season or trend. A lot of these buzzwords like Sigma, Monk Mode, Winter Arc come from what we call a quick fix culture. Social media makes everything look so instant. Instant results, instant gratification, and that also include instant transformations. The problem is, real change doesn't happen like an anime type arc where the main character just magically transforms to OP level after a short period and now he's a badass. Building skills, improving health, and achieving goals takes time, and the idea of cramming it all into a winter arc is misleading at best. So if you really want to improve, the consistency matters far more than intensity. True self-improvement isn't a seasonal, it's about forming habits that stick regardless of the time of the year. Just like Goggins recently said when someone asked him if he's on winter arc.
Motherfucker, I'm on that 365 shit. It's not an arc, it's a fucking circle.
While winter arc can provide a motivational push, relying solely on trending challenges or intense bursts of motivation to change your life most often fails. Real self-improvement starts with setting clear and achievable goals instead of aiming for massive life-changing transformations all at once. And it's far easier to break goals down into small manageable steps that fit into your already established daily routine. For example, if your goal is to get in shape, focus on creating a regular workout schedule that's sustainable beyond just one winter arc. Start small. For example, maybe it's a 10-minute workout each morning or a couple of gym sessions a week, then build from there. This way your progress isn't tied to a single trend or fleeting burst of motivation. The consistency is built through habits, and habits need time and patience to form. And according to European Journal of Social Psychology, it takes around 66 days for a habit to form, where it doesn't feel like a chore. It helps to think of a self-improvement journey as a marathon, not a sprint. And these small gradual improvements compound over time, creating a real transformation without this burnout. Ultimately, self-improvement is a continuous journey, not a quick fix. Rather than trying to overhaul everything in one arc, focus on building a lifestyle that incorporates these small changes into your everyday routine. So while winter arc can be a good starting point, real change happens when you commit for a long ride, not just a couple of months. Social media might give you the buzz of feeling productive, but if you want real results, it takes much more than a trendy term and just a few motivational posts.